you would input a document into this. So I'm taking the major challenge of taking a substantial document and doing it all in a single flow. So the National Venture Capital Association has model legal documents. We can see a long list of them. I'll do the, they have a life science confidential disclosure agreement, which seems relevant based on our goal of doing this common trust framework. So here's the agreement, which I downloaded. And then what I'm going to want to do is to turn each of these things into a separate section so that it then can be put back in as a full document. And also we want to parameterize things. So I can start by trying to parameterize things. So I'll do a few of them, and then I'll show. So I use a couple of common naming schemes, year, month, date here. So we just put paren, we put these curly braces around anything that we want to describe, that we want to parameterize. So and I have a lot of conventions that I've developed for myself. So this is P1, that's party 1, and I want it in the US form, name, entity type, and address. So I'll do that, and then I'll do this over here, and VC fund firm. So this one will be P2, we'll call this one. So P2. You can see how you could go through and you would find other things, the quarter ending. So, and what would we have as a name for the quarter ending? So we want the whole date thing. And so the quarter ending, so what have we got here? Publicly disclosed. So this is company hereby represents that the confidential and for publicly disclosed no later than company's earnings call. So this would be financial quarter end date, year, month, day. So they have quarter ending on financial quarter, current. So for the current end date. So you can see you have kind of a notion of organizing what we call these things. It's rough. Okay. So why don't I save that? Save this document like this. And then what I want to do is to turn each of these sections into a separate section. So this one does have automatic numbering, which can be helpful. So I'll go and I'll change the automatic numbering, bullets and numbering. I'll customize that, and I'll treat this. I'll call it's this is a easy way to get some of the work done for you already. So we need to change the font type because they've got this as all caps. And I'll do that, and we'll see that that's given me these TIs all across. Now actually what I should have done, we'll go back and do that, is bullets and numbering. What I should have done is to add in the equal sign there. That'll make it a little bit easier because we're going to want to take each one of these things and make them into a key value section with name. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that we can do here in terms of structuring the subsections easily. This is an agreement that doesn't have subsections, so that's pretty much all that we can do there. There are some kinds of embedded subsections in here, but I won't bother to break those out. You see, you could do that with this as well. Make that a subsect. Well, might as well do it. B like this, and or C like that. So those are three subsections. like that, and again I'll change the name here because we want what we want this to be is to have the higher level in it, so we'll include level 1, so we'll include that from there, and then we'll put in a period, and then we'll make this also a number style because we want all the sections, even though we'll end up making these things be, yes, these section equals, even though we'll end up redoing this with letters. The numbering scheme prefers just to have numbers. Okay, so we could do the same thing here. You're under tab like that. We'll do that here again. Tab like that. And we'll do that here again. And note that Word has been smart enough to notice that that's what we've changed, that we've made this thing, that these are subsections, and so it's conformed it to the format. I'm going to leave the C and stuff like that in here because it'll help in verifying that I've done it correctly later. We'll take it out later. Okay, like that. Or E. We got anything further than E? Nope, I think that's right. So let's see if we have any more A's and stuff like that in here. We kind of have A's, but that's not really paragraphy. You could do it for those, but probably not. And you could also go further down in this kind of a thing. And I guess I might as well. So again, we have to fix this, change what this is. Bullets and numbering, customize, and we want the previous level. So we want level 2. Oops, we also want level 1. So we want level 1, period, level 2, period, and then we want this thing to be also ones. Oops, there it is. Dot sec equals. That's okay. So then that'll be, and what have we got? We got 1. And if you got 1, then you got to have 2. Or 2, like this. There's a okay. So this is a start, and this may seem a little strange, but this tail end thing is also a piece of that. Okay. So we got any others that we need to do in here? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so I can say, well, we've done some work here. There's more we could do, but we've done a lot. So now we'll just scrape the text, and I'll copy it, and then I'll paste it in a plain text editor. Here, this is often used for doing programming languages and stuff like that, but the point is that it's a plain text editor. You're going to need a plain text editor in order to avoid having the thing be excessively helpful. Then I'm going to call these things .title, and then this, because I know I've got a contract form that uses these things, this sec. So this confidentiality agreement, and then here, this is a title. And to make this thing work, what I need to do is, I also need one, this is the content of that section. So note the naming scheme. This is the title of a section, and that's the content of a section, one lowercase sec. An uppercase sec will want both a title and a lowercase. And we'll see that that happens rather easily. So here we've got another title, like like this, 2.sec like that, and then 3 is going to be much more complicated. So 3 we have exclusion from non-disclosure and non-use. So then 3, and then this isn't the whole section. If I did that, it would be the whole section. It's the start of a section. So that's 3 O sec. You can see how 3030 sec, not O0 sec, would be at the beginning. And then we can do these things like this, and this like this. And then this one, 3.5, same principle there. This just introduces that, so 3.1. And you'll remember I did this, but it's not numbered. So this one actually isn't 3. I call it 00 to say that it's at the end. Okay. So that is recipient's obligation. So now we've got a further complication, which is that there's more to this section. So actually this is 3.2.sec, like that. That's the rest of it. And this needs to be 3.1 1 dot, like that. Okay, so we'll on the 1 needs to go in each of these, like this. So, oops, there. So the 3.1 with all of its subsections here, and 3.2, the two of those comprise the whole of section 3. So I'll now show how we make that thing go back together, and the naming will seem a little strange. Everything begins with G, and then Z is for the little widgets that make things go together. And we have we could do that as an OL is HTML-ish talk for do it as an outline, as a numbered outline. And we have two sections, but these are sections without headings. Okay, this is going to look pretty strange. It's a naming convention. It takes a little getting used to, but it's there. So, and then this, oops, that's 3.1, sorry. So this is for the whole thing. This is for the whole of section 1. And we're going to need something for, actually we don't need anything for section 2 because it's simple. But section 3.1 is a composite. So how many sections have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subsections, S5, like that. And they have letters rather than being numbers. So we do that. And then section 3.1.5, I know this is going to seem complicated. So when they don't have letters, they have these little I things, and there are 2 of them. So magically, this should give us the whole thing with these 2 things as one numbered section, and that is a second numbered section. But note that in the document they're not actually numbered sections, they run together into a single paragraph. So that's the way I do that. The rest of the document is pretty much the same thing. So TI like this, for this one is a simple one. All 5 again is a simple one. I'll do just a couple of these. So 5, and we'll stop here. You can see that there's more to be done, but you get a sense of what level of work there is. Here, I'll do a couple of these at the end just so we can see the end. 13 sec. Sec is for the content of a section. And then